What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? Oh no. Okay, fine, we can fix this. Oh no. Okay. So with this one, it's going to be a lot easier than the others because it's a more humanoid kind of thing. But I'm going to get a lot more detailed with this one, I think. Easy peasy, right? Why did it post it twice? That's weird. I don't know why I posted it twice, but okay. Alright, let's do the basic legwork first, right? So it says L2 twice. save before everything freezes, because MMD has a bad habit of just crashing. What's up, anime fan? How you doing? How's it going? The Axolot. Oh my god, I'm totally messing this up. My bad. The Axolotl. Axolotl. Is it Axolotl? I hope I'm saying this right. I'm good. I'm just, you know, just doing my animation thing, trying to. Trying to anyway, I'm just, you know, doing stuff. Copy, reverse. This. Go. Boom. I'm just working on animation stuff as usual, and trying to get more motion files put out for Patreon peeps. Jeremy Curtis, what's good? Looks like we got some new monsters, right? We do. I mean, oh, I've got a ton of different monsters. I'm just trying to, what I'm trying to do now for everybody is make these motion, make these motion files for my Patreon users. So if anybody wants to get into like basic animation, I'll have templates and stuff for everybody, so they can have the motion files, and they can do, you know, basic stuff like this. For this particular model, though, I'm gonna go a little bit more into detail. We're gonna have some tail movement and some body waving and stuff because, you know, it's the Heisei Godzilla, right? He's a big lumbering tree, so it's a little different than like the Zilla motions and stuff like. Those are more like dinosaur bird-like characteristics when animating them, and this one is, you know, just a guy in a suit, right? So you treat it more like a human being. This is animation, yes. I am animating a walk cycle for 91. I'm not really gonna animate a cycle for running because Heisei Godzilla never really ran anywhere. He just kind of walked everywhere with authority. What got me into animation? Well, what got me into it was the ease of access that there was to models in this program. But ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be an animator. And, you know, I used to... Just to give you an idea, I'll show you something real quick. I don't normally show these off. Hang on a second. I got some stuff I can show you. Let's see. So like, oh, where is this? I actually had hand drawn. Here they are. So like, here, let me do a full face cam for you guys so you can see what I want to show you. Okay, So, you know, when I was younger, and if you don't believe, well, actually, I don't have it dated on this one, but like, I used to want to be like a 2D animator, right? I used to draw all the time. And then so, what's up, Nerd Cage Live? We got Nerd Cage Live in the house, folks. Go check out their new video, his top 10. Jay, I just have to say, I don't agree with you on the Mortal Kombat one, you know? But, so anyway, this goes back to some Godzilla stuff, right? And so I actually I was working on animating a shot of Godzilla roaring, so I did this, and then, you know, he's getting ready to open his mouth, and then he opens his mouth, and then he goes back to close. So it's like, you'd have to flip it faster, but I was always trying to do animations and stuff, you know? So, and I have other Godzilla pictures and stuff that I used to do, but when I was in school and stuff, you know, I always wanted to do animation, and I was super big into anime and all that kind of stuff. Why did I choose the Godzilla series? Or why did I choose to make a Godzilla series instead of anything else? Because Godzilla's always been a great love of mine, and I don't know, to be honest with you. Like, I found that it was more like when COVID hit, I gotta be careful about saying that word. I don't want to get knocked off the stream. But when the Rona came out, I lost all my hours at work. I went down to like 8 hours a week, and so I found this whatchamacallit, this page right here that I'll show you. But it has all these different monster models that are used in this specific program, and I wanted to mess with them, so I was like, okay, let me go download this program and teach myself, and I did it like I do everything else. I just started looking up tutorials on Google, on YouTube and stuff on how to animate using this particular software, because all these models were there. Now, you can use Blender and stuff like that, but point is, I found all these models that are literally free to download. Here's the Godzilla model that I'm working with right now in the program. They're free to download, which is another reason why I'm making these motion files, because you guys can go, the program is free to download, these models are free to download, and you know, why not make motion files and stuff? So it's all good. Truth be told, I haven't seen Silent Hill or played the game. You don't have to play the game, Jay. Just watch the movie. The movie is so good. So good. Bro, same. I was like 4 when I started watching Godzilla. I really like it. Yeah, so like for me, it's always been like Godzilla, Star Wars, World of Warcraft, everything else, right? Well, now World of Warcraft is gone and Star Wars got butchered. So now it's just Godzilla. It inspires you to, I'm glad. Like, and so think about it. Like, that's part of the reason why I'm doing this. So if you scroll down and you guys click on my Patreon thing, I've just recently updated everything, and you can get. I added motion files and the creator's music pack. So like all of my Godzilla music that I've made on my channel that you can go find, it's a playlist. I have high quality versions of all those songs, or at least in this first pack, at least half of the music I've released, and you can download it and use it if you become a Patreon. And then I'm going to be uploading these monster files. So I have Zilla right now. I did a very basic run and walk animation for it. You guys can choose to move the tail around and move the head and the arms how you want. With this model, I'm gonna do a little bit more, like moving the tail slightly and stuff, and all of this will be be able to be modified by you guys however you want. It's just a basic template. So I'm doing that. Been a fan since I was like 7. My dad banned me from watching them several years because I acted them out, which he didn't like. I got a collection of films. I did the same thing. For me, it's Mortal Kombat, Rocky, Godzilla, then X-Men, and then everything else. When it comes to IPs, I love X-Men too, but I just don't like Hollywood anymore. You like Mortal Kombat when it was good? Yeah, dude. The first Mortal Kombat movie is the best one in my opinion. It's even better than this newest one that they released. I'll be right back, 1 second. I need to go grab my water. Okay, it's okay. It's enough. It's enough. Godzilla, Batman, Call of Duty, Battlefield just before it went downhill. Oh yeah, I know that feels. Jurassic Park World, Halo 3, no particular order or interest. I see. Yeah, I'm more just about Godzilla these days. I really don't care about many other franchises or anything because it's like you're spreading yourself too thin, you know? I would rather be like, for me, there's excuse me. Excuse me. There's a couple reasons, several reasons actually, why I choose Godzilla as the thing that I pursue as far as this kind of stuff is concerned. But like, one, for me, I don't have any issues with Godzilla because there's no overtly crazy amounts of nudity or foul language, or it's honestly not that bloody or anything like that. There's no real anti-God sentiments in it, so I just prefer Godzilla in that aspect. Like, it's a creature. The Godzilla franchise is about a monster that we created because of our own arrogance, and now we have to deal with him as if he was a force of nature. You know what I mean? But so that's my thing with Godzilla. That's why I'm a big Godzilla fan. You know, all the other stuff, all Mortal Kombat, all of, you know, Aliens, all this other stuff, it's too much. It's too gory, it's too whatever, and it gets away from like the important part. Well, to a degree, yeah. This one is. I'm gonna do a walk cycle, and then a little like idle animation cycle where he like kind of like looks around or something, and then or maybe does a roar. But right now I'm just getting the basic parts of the walk cycle down, and then I'm gonna do work on the tail. That's the next part that I want to fix. Well, actually, before I do that, I want to do this. So with Godzilla, you know, in the movies, he always kind of like rocks side to side whenever he's walking. So we're gonna add a little bit of that here. We're gonna make him go side to side here. So it makes it, you know. And then, and I'm gonna, like, for the walking cycle, I'm gonna leave the arms and the head alone. I'm not gonna do anything with that, so that way everybody else can mess with it. But like for starters, how do you animate? Well, first off, you have to have a real burning desire and passion, okay? Because animation is tedious. It's super tedious. I've only been actually doing it, or at least 3D animation like this, for 2 years, since 2020. It's super duper tedious. So make sure that that's not a problem for you. That being said, thing to get started is, I would look up, I honest to God, and I've spoken to the people at NPC or whatever it is, the special effects company that did all of the animation work for the legendary Godzilla films. I've got connections. I don't want to say friends, but I've got connections that work there. And I never asked them for anything other than their opinion on how I'm animating. And they were just giving me all kinds of details and stuff. And they told me, like, one of them told me, very important, don't go to school for animation. Especially don't do it online. But, like, don't go to one of these schools for animation and stuff. Because you can learn more and be better at animating than anybody that's in school for it if you just practice on your own. Yeah, this is Heisei Godzilla. This is more specifically the 1991 Godzilla. So when I release these motion files over on my Patreon page, which you should totally go and join right now, I'm going to have a link to the model that the motion file is for. You can actually use motion files from different things. Well, it's the same one, yeah, essentially. But you can use the same motion files for most models, but you're going to have to tweak things because the rigging's different, the size is different, stuff like that. But for the most part, you can kind of use the same one. But ultimately what I was told is if you're really wanting to do animation, then download Blender, download whatever it is that you want to animate with. Like, so if you want to do Miku Miku Dance like I use, or if you want to use SFM or Blender or Maya, just download whichever software and just start practicing. And then there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube, like for some basic stuff for like the wind-up animation. Stuff like for example, like when you look at the feet, right? This is something that I included, and it's a very like small. Bad music is a little hot. It's hard to hear me. Maybe I need to put the mic closer and turn down the music. I'm sorry. Is this better? Sorry. Maybe I'll turn up the gain just a tad. There we go. Anyway, but like right here, just for example, right? Just to give you an example, look at the foot right here, the foot that's in the back. When it moves forward, I tilt the foot down just slightly, right? And then the body, and then the leg comes up. And then right here between frame 20 and 25, I point the foot up because he's getting ready to step down. You know what I mean? And then by the time the cycle is over, he steps down, boom. And to add more to it, if you notice, so when he steps, his body tilts, right? And then it also lifts up. It goes up higher. But you can't really see it because I've tilted the body. But the whole body moves up because he's pushing down with one leg to pick up the other. So in effect, he's making himself get a little taller when he's walking, you know? And then when he puts his foot down, his whole body settles down because he's so big. It's like little things like that you pay attention to. I don't know, I can't tell you how many hours worth of watching animal footage on YouTube. Bears, lions, tigers, elephants, everything that I could watch, birds, everything. Just to get an idea of how to animate better, like to understand the movements. So, yes, it can. Well, it can. So I don't want to jump too far ahead since you guys are like thinking about getting into it and stuff. Okay, hang on. I need to. So the fight scenes. Yep, saw some tail whipping. Sorry, I'm just a sucker for the small details. Yeah. Well, for this model, this one, I'm not sure what all I'm going to animate because it's Heisei Godzilla and stuff. But for the fight scenes, So here's another thing, all right? So first off, you want to learn how to animate something and get all the small details. Sure, fine. I don't necessarily go for that, because if you watch anime and even some other like 3D animated stuff like the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous show is a really good example of this. How to Train Your Dragon animated show. Anything 3D animated or even 2D animated, if you pay close attention, don't watch it for the special effects or the colors or the story or anything or the dialogue. Literally just watch it frame by frame. So like you'll learn things like in movies and animation, you usually won't go like longer than 3 to 5 seconds depending on what you're trying to emphasize. But also things like for example here, right? Whenever you're watching an anime, and you can go back and watch this in Godzilla Singular Point and see it happen, they'll show Godzilla and all you'll see is this, right? All you see is this. You don't see the legs, you don't really see the tail or anything. You don't see any of the other parts. You just see from like, and they'll even get closer, right? Or they'll even get like super close up and you'll just see his head rocking back and forth, right? That right there is how they make animation go by faster, because instead of animating the entire body, they're just animating what you're gonna see. And this is why storyboarding in mainstream animation is so important, because they literally plan out that this shot here is you're gonna see Godzilla walking towards the screen like this. You're not gonna see anything else. So when they go to animate, all you see is literally the head moving. Like they won't even animate the rest of the body, to be honest with you. And so when you're making fight scenes, if you go back and you watch even the MonsterVerse movies, when you're watching Godzilla versus Kong, watch the shots how they're panning out their shots. Like for example, right when Godzilla and Kong start going at it, all you see is Kong charging at Godzilla from like a first person video game view. So in that scene, all they have to animate is Godzilla. And because Godzilla is so big and the way he moves, they don't really have to animate him moving a whole lot. And then in the very next scene, you get a shot with people in it inside of a building looking through a glass window, which literally cuts off more than half of Godzilla and Kong's body, right? So all you're seeing is like the upper body from the head and maybe the arms. And that's all they're animating. They're not even touching from the waist down or anything. And that's how they were able to animate that whole shot so quickly and get this, because a lot of these animation companies are working on multiple projects, right? The same people that animated Godzilla and Kong in the Godzilla Kong movie were the same people that did the animation for the demonic monsters in the Shazam movie. And they were doing it at the same time. They were animating both. They were like, okay, today we're going to spend it on Godzilla, tomorrow we're going to spend it on Shazam. So when it comes to animation, to just make an animation is one thing, but when you're trying to do something like making a series, it's very important to have your story, like what you're going to do, planned out ahead of time. It's very important to kind of, like, I don't do storyboarding, but I've been writing, and this is something else I'm going to post on Patreon soon, so you guys can kind of get an idea, but I've already been working on the script. It's it's 3 pages front and back right now, but I've been working on the script for the Apex series, because I'm gonna have dialogue in it. Not a whole lot of voice acting, but the monsters will have little dialogue, kind of like episode 1 was. But now, after I wrote the script and I know how the scene's gonna play out, then I can visualize in my mind, like in this part right here where it says scene 1 starts or shot opens to King Ghidorah's throne/temple. Space Godzilla, Shin Godzilla, Orga, Mothra, Batra, and Godzilla are all present, right? So I don't have too many details there, but now I know when I go to set up the shot, all these creatures are going to be there. They're all going to be set up in a certain way or whatever. And then I have, like, later, Ghidorah's black hole appears above. Mothra looks at Batra, who's staring up at the black hole. The other monsters all look up. Electricity dances around the black hole. So I don't get too detailed there. And then when I'm going into the shots, I'm going to make, okay, so how I'm going to angle the shot, how close am I going to get to the shot? That'll all be dependent on when I actually go to animate the shot sequence, if that makes any sense. The other thing to think about too is whenever you're watching animals or even when you go back, if you go back and watch like things like Walking with Dinosaurs and stuff, you'll see little details. Like for example, whenever the leg is moving forward, right? Like this left leg right here, it's moving forward, and the tail, I purposely made it to where the tail is swinging to the side that the leg is moving forward. And the reason for this is basic anatomy, right? Study your bone structures and your muscle structures. This is all important. But like, so when you're walking, your body's shifting, right? And your hips are swift. Now, as humans, we're walking, we don't really pay attention to it, and we get lazy with our walking. But when you go and you watch a catwalk, you can really see how the thighs and the legs are really accented, how they're walking. If you have a dog or a cat, you can see the same thing. And when the back leg that is closely attached to the tail, there's muscles. So like here's the leg. There's muscles that come out to the tail, right? Like tendons and stuff that will pull the base part of the tail in the direction that the leg is moving, which side it's moving, if that makes any sense. So when the leg is pulling forward, the muscles are pulling the tail with it, and that's why the tail will swing to the left whenever he's taking a left foot step or a right foot step. It'll swing in the opposite direction, and then you have to like maneuver the tail itself for like the curvature, because you think of it like a string, right? Now with Godzilla and most animals, they don't actually, the tail doesn't just follow like in a wavy motion. They actually stiffen up a lot, and they'll kind of just be however. The only real wavy motion comes at the base. So you just made me picture a butt moving every time I walk. What is my PC setup? It's really crappy. I have an Alienware PC that freezes on me all the time. So I don't recommend Alienware PC. The reason why I got it though is when I went to go buy a new PC, which I was buying so I could do more animation stuff, because my old PC that I was doing all the initial Godzilla Apex animations on is over there. It's 12 years old. So I needed to upgrade. So when I bought this one in 2021, I went to Best Buy. I bought this computer that was actually a lot cheaper, but had better, it was a lot more easy to be customized. But when I brought that PC home and I pressed the power button, it never even booted up Windows. So I was just like, you know what? I don't even want to buy a computer of that brand again, because it was some Korean brand. I don't even know. And I was like, you know what? Alienware, I know it has a bad rap and stuff like that, but I at least know that the products that are inside of it are, good. Like I have a 3070 or 1070. No, it's not 1070. Is it 30? I think it's, I don't remember. It at the time it was the second or third best video card you could get. And if you were to buy the video card by itself, it would have cost you just as much as the PC cost me. But I bought it for an upgraded graphics card and all that kind of stuff. And now I have issues with this PC all the time. Freezing, just randomly freezing. So, and I've updated to Windows 11 and but you really want a PC that has a really good graphics card and a really good CPU, so everything can process. Because when I start adding effects in this, like water or explosions and beams and stuff, my CPU usage goes crazy, especially because if you look at this model, right, the people who make these models, they put a decent enough detail into the pixels and the detail of the model, which is all stuff that my video card or your video card is going to have to render in real time while you're animating, right? That's why whenever you go back and you watch like the making of movies, you'll see that the models are actually grayscale, no textures or anything, and they add all that stuff later because when you're actually animating initially, it just eats up your resources on your computer. So I need to do this, okay. So now we're getting somewhere with the tail. If you see, it's kind of curvaturing a little bit. We'll do this, copy, paste, come back here, curve it a little bit more this way. This particular model has it has a lot of tail bones. Ooh. Has a lot of tail bones, as you can see in it, and I can even move the spines to make them shake while he's walking, like, you know, the Heisei model did or whatever. But you see these 4 bones right here. This is the tail control, so I'm using those to animate instead of all the individual bones. Kind of, not really. I don't want to get a whole lot more people involved with the production this time around, because when I did that other video with the voice acting in it, it was such a pain in the butt. It was such a pain to get people to even send me the voice lines on time and stuff. So what are the blue spots? The blue spots all over the body? That's the bones. So let me see if it'll actually... So this is what this model skeleton looks like without the model itself. They're the bones. All these blue parts are the bones, and like all these little ones right here, these spiky looking ones, those are for the spikes, his spinal fins. Right here you can see the arm, the elbow, the hands, the claws, right here and right here. Up here's the head. Obviously you don't see like a big skeletal structure for the head, but I have the head where you can move the neck. In the head, these parts right here is one for the tongue, or actually a few for the tongue, the mouth, the eyes, and then when I put it back, boom, you can see these are for the eyes. Here's where the mouth and stuff is. This is for the head, so on and so forth. That's what that is. But I'm not gonna do soul speaking in the sense that I had it in my animated movie. This is gonna be more like, if you guys seen episode 1 of season 3, which by the way, season 3 is canceled. I'm not doing season 3. Why are some poking out? What do you mean? Why are some poking out? What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about like these? These right here, because these have been added controls to control. Like, so for example, these blue bones that are going across the tail right here, that is what I'm using to animate the entire tail instead of all of these individual bones. So the modeler who made this, so MMD Charizard, who did the rigging and stuff, he usually does really cool things for this particular program, which includes things like a tail control. So instead of having to go through and animate each individual tailbone, he made 4 tailbones that control the entire tail. And then he's also made sliders. So for example, I don't know if you can see right here in the bottom part of the screen next to my face in the little green box, there are these sliders, right? So instead of me going and messing with the bone, I can mess with the slider and it'll animate his mouth for me, and I can just animate the slider instead, if that makes sense. So, wait, season 3 is canceled. Yes, season 3 is canceled because I'm rebooting the series. I'm rebooting the series because when I originally started the Apex series, I wasn't actually planning on making a series. I made the first few animations, like let me see. Let me see. So like for example, I'll show you this. I don't know if you ever saw this, but this was so you're Hollywood, Adam? Yeah, well, I say rebooting because it never had a cohesive story to begin with. I never had an actual storyline. I was just making animations.
Mission accomplished.
But this is
another nest purged.
This is a short film that I made.
I will send word to HQ. At least that's what I would say if my communications array wasn't damaged. You really are reckless for a pilot.
You know, for an AI, you bitch a lot.
Excuse me.
Sorry for the foul language.
Where's Mama Bird V2?
I'm picking up multiple signatures in the area. One closing fast, 150 meters to the east.
I'm ditching the cannon. Hopefully we can make it into cover before she sees us.
So this is a Rodan. I was going to do one for Rodan, Godzilla, Ghidorah, and Mothra. This was the first one I did, and then I did Godzilla Apex afterwards. It wasn't even supposed to be a full-on thing.
Do you have her, V2? We can't let her follow us back to base.
She's right on top of us.
Oh, shit.
Lieutenant, fuel is low. Any more boosting and we won't have enough to make it back.
Just tell me when I'm out. Where's the next closest road?
Dead ahead, bearing negative 45 degrees.
I've learned so much since making this video.
Lieutenant, that was your last boost. If you boost again, we won't make it back.
Perfect.
Perfect? How are you going to get us away from her?
Shut up, V2.
I can't believe it.
I am the greatest. It's okay. You can admit it.
You are reckless.
Yeah, so anyway, so I was trying to do like a bunch of shorts like that, and when I made Godzilla Apex, the only thing it was supposed to be was the two parents with the baby and defending them from the Zillas, and that was it. And when people saw that, I got comment after comment after comment. They were like, please make this into a series. So I did, but I had no... I was literally making every episode up as I went because I was still learning how to animate and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, but so it will live on just in a slightly different format. Yeah, kind of. So like one of the things that I'm trying to do now, I'm calling the new series Godzilla Apex Neo, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, but like, I did this, and I've been debating on whether or not I want to do it in shorts format or not, because the algorithm, right? I'm trying to play to the algorithm. And this is what my custom Godzilla looks like. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but this is also another reason why I'm rebooting it. It's because I had a whole bunch of models made, custom, that I can show you if you guys want after I finish some more of this animation. So, I gotta go, but it's been fun, learned good stuff from you. Bye, see you later. And then here's another one. I just released this. So I've been debating on whether or not I want to make these into shorts and play to the algorithm and then eventually put all the shorts together. So that's the new thing that I'm trying to do. Is it's called Godzilla Apex Neo. And anyway, ooh. So yeah, right now, let me save this real quick. Yeah, the previous seasons are gonna stay up. I won't get rid of them or anything like that. It's just again, for the previous seasons, I didn't have a script. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I didn't have all the models. It took a year and a half. So take a look at this real quick. This is the cast. This is the main cast of characters. Oh, I guess I should not show. Here, hang on. Just let me pull up a picture instead. Oh, this is stupid. I don't know what I'm trying to do. Trying to be extra and complicated. Hang on. As soon as I remember where I put them. Oh, no, that's not it. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Okay. So, here's the monster roster for season 3. And I was thinking about doing some crazy weird stuff with like them being super smaller and all that, but I had, except for this Mothra and the Rodan model, all of these other models are custom, and it took a year and a half for all these models to be made. And you don't even see all of them here. They're still like the Godzilla Apex that you didn't see. But all these models are the main characters. These aren't all the characters that are going to be in the series, but these are the main characters. And it took a year and a half to get my Batra, my custom Ghidorah model, my custom Space Godzilla, and Shin, and Orga, and Biollante, all these, right? So, yeah, and all of those models were made because people joined my Patreon and supported me here on YouTube and were watching. I was making, good money to do that, so I've been trying to reinvest back into the series and really give Godzilla fans like myself something that isn't just a bunch of monsters fighting each other, but an actual story on why they're doing it. And I think I've got a really good idea for this reboot as far as the story is concerned. Mother. Move! Thank you. I might have to adjust. Might have to adjust this. There we go. That looks good. It's basic. Yeah, there we go. So we can go like... See? Now we're looking like a Godzilla that moves. Right? Tail's looking smooth and clean. So just to be clear, you're debating on whether or not to remake the story into a collection of shorts. No. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it because I'm very conflicted on it. It's more like I'm trying to get YouTube to promote my stuff because there's a lot. I'm kind of jealous that there's other Godzilla animators that do like that 2D, I don't even know, stick nodes animation stuff or whatever it is. And they're getting hundreds and thousands of views and they're getting a lot of subscribers, but I'm not getting anything. And YouTube is trying to promote shorts a lot to compete with TikTok. So I was trying to think about how I can appeal to the algorithm and try something new with animation stuff. I mean, do you guys, like, when you guys are looking on YouTube and stuff, do you look at the YouTube shorts about anything, like, at all? Or, you know, stuff like that? Ultimately, who I really care about is the viewers, you guys, right? Because I'm making this for you guys. Making it for myself, too, but it's not to be a collection of shorts. I'm actually... I'm actually debating on whether or not I want to make full-on movies that are at least an hour to an hour and a half long. And then I can break those down into shorts and stuff like that if I really wanted to and use that to recycle content. Or I could make a bunch of shorts and then eventually compile them all together into one long video that you can watch that's like 10 minutes long or something like that. I'm not sure how I want to do it just yet. I just know that I'm trying to figure out ways to get the algorithm to promote my channel because nobody goes around and just shares stuff anymore. I am also working on making a Facebook page for Godzilla Apex. I've just made a new Twitter account for Godzilla Apex, specifically for Godzilla Apex and nothing else. Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out like what to do about all of that kind of stuff, you know? I don't want to make the viewers mad or the fans mad by making a bunch of shorts. I don't know if you guys would like that or not. I don't know. I'm still debating, but what I'm really working and focusing on right now is writing the story. I've got a basic idea of the start to finish. Like I know how it's going to begin now, and I know how I want it to end, but I need to write all the in-between stuff. So like, because I don't want there to just like Space Godzilla's just gonna show up and they're gonna fight and then he dies, you know? You about to hop on Twitch? Cool beans. Have a great night. All right, thank you, Jay, Nerd Cage Live, everybody. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out. Hit that subscribe button. They make super fun nerd content. And Jay has also been featured as a voice actor in my Godzilla series movie thing as Varen. He played Varen. So go check him out. show some love. But yeah, so but that's, I don't know, what do you guys think? What's your opinion on that? Should I do shorts or what, you know? And then in the meantime, what I'm doing and why I'm making all these animations like this is to build up more funds, because I don't have sound people anymore. I don't have modeler anymore. I want to do a whole bunch of other extra stuff, but I don't have money and a team anymore. I lost my team because this year I basically took almost this entire year off to help my dad, who passed away in September. So I'm having to like make videos, catch back up, all this stuff, right? And so that's why I'm redoing all this stuff. That's why I'm remaking everything, and I just want to make it better than it was. And now that I have all my models and all these custom things that you've never seen before, I can really do it more justice, in my opinion, I think. So that's why I'm on the fence about whether or not I want to make them YouTube shorts or not. So I know that a lot of people always ask me why, you know, they ask me what software I'm using, how did I get into animation, stuff like that. So I'm starting to also realize that, and I'm actually really, it makes me feel good that people watch my stuff and it inspires them to want to do the same thing or want to get creative or something like that. So I'm trying to do these things like make these animation motions for people who want to get started, and it'll help them get on their way and they can feel like they're being productive, because I know better than anybody, it's better to just jump head into things and learn as you go than it is to try to like go be a student and be in school, because then they're teaching you all this stuff, which is good to know, but it's not motivating you to do anything. It's just teaching. It's like when you're learning math, right? Whenever you are in school and you're learning math or science and stuff, and you sit there and you actually think, how is this gonna help me, right? How is this gonna help me? Well, if you were being allowed to utilize the math, for example, here, I know, and I use math all the time now, from frame 0 to 30 is 1 second. So I do the math. How many frames is it in 1 minute? Oh, it's 1800. If you multiply 30 times 60 seconds, 30 frames a second, it's 180 or 1,800 frames is equal to 1 minute's worth of animation. That sounds like a lot of animation or a lot of frames, right? But there's my math being used. That's when I was going to use math, trying to figure out how many frames to make 1 minute or less. 900 frames is 30 seconds, you know? So if you're animating at 30 frames a second, if you go down to 26 or something like that, or 25 frames a second, which is, or even 15 frames a second, which is what a lot of animation does, you can do math and figure that stuff out. So when it comes to animation, I'm trying to provide a way that people can just kind of jump into it using the same software that I use, because it's free and the models are free. And if you want to support Godzilla Apex and support what I'm trying to do, for $5 a month, you can go to my Patreon, become a member, and support the channel that way. And you get access to exclusive roles in Discord as a Patreon and a channel member. You'll get a very special section there. I'm gonna try to start doing things like once a week have movie nights and stuff, or maybe have very specific Patreon only tutorials on how I animate and stuff like that. So, you know, just to kind of help. For $5 a month, most people spend more than that on Netflix, okay? So, and this will help you become creative and productive, and you can actually use all these things I'm going to teach you in real life to work on someone else's project and stuff like that. Like, I know you've seen Methlo Kaiju fan and his animation. I know them. Toku Society, I know them. Film Core, I know them. And I've talked to all of them. And some of them are students and some of them aren't. And I'm just gonna, if you know, I don't believe that you need to pay the cost of a house mortgage for your animation knowledge when you can get on YouTube and find out all kinds of fun stuff, and then I can give you what I've learned. You just pay $5 a month, and then every month I'm gonna have a new monster motion file uploaded, and then and I'll have more music that eventually I'll be releasing more music stuff. I even want to take it even a step further for people who don't want to learn how to actually animate like I'm doing, but maybe they want to use that. Maybe they want some custom anything I can make. And I did this before, Godzilla green screens, that you can, you know, put in your video. Like if you want to talk about, you know, like Wikizilla did it recently. They got one of the other animators to animate Godzilla from the Monsterverse, and it's actually kind of crappy animation, but you know, it is what it is. I would have done it better. But they did this animation, and you know, it's just like, hi, my name is this, and today we're going to talk about this. And then they had this little cool animated Godzilla thing that they usually do for their wiki stuff. So you could do that for your videos if you want to make Godzilla videos or whatever. And the cool thing about what I'm doing is you can apply this to things out. You can apply the stuff that I'm going to teach and the things that I'm going to do outside of monster models. I can teach you how to make a person walk. I can teach you how to do all, like, let me see if I can, I'll show you some other stuff. When I was doing my when I was doing my stuff on Twitch, here I'll just show you here. I still have it on my stream thing. So I made this for Twitch. I don't stream on Twitch anymore because I don't like Twitch. But if you look at the models, those aren't monsters. Those aren't monsters, right? Those are chickadees, right? And so I set up this whole thing because I was DJing on Final Fantasy, and these are models and stuff that I had ripped out of the game and turned into doing stuff, and then I made them dance, and you would see me or in game in the background, and you see the models dancing and stuff like that, right? There's a cat girl with a tail over there. There's a bun girl. There's a human, and then my model, my character, my in-game model's in the back where all those speakers are. You can't really see them, but like, you know, I learned how to do a bunch of stuff outside of animating just monsters, and I can translate that. So again, guys, go check out the Patreon. Become a Patreon right now. Like, what are you waiting for? It's $5 a month. I'm adding more and more rewards. You'll get featured in the description of all of my videos moving forward, like as a supporter. You're going to get one of the things that I'm going to add very soon is whatchamacallit? What is it? It's not sneak peeks, but it's, you get to see the videos come out on Patreon before they come out on YouTube and stuff. Members will, and Patreon members will. So anyway, yeah, I'm doing a lot of stuff for Patreon. I'm not asking for a whole lot in return, but since I am a full-time content creator, and this is my job and my life and how I keep the electricity on and, you know, the internet paid so I can do what I'm doing right now, I need a little support. So, and if you can't, subscribe, share the YouTube channel, get other people to watch it, because I also get paid off of views from YouTube too. So yeah, but I think for the most part this Godzilla model is done. I got the basic walk animation going, and I don't know if I should necessarily. I don't want to move his head, right? I just wanted to get the basic animation stuff going, and yeah. So what we're gonna do now is do this. We'll copy paste this here. 120, 180. We're gonna go all the way to 300 frames because that's 10 seconds. That should be it right here. Yeah. So that's 10 seconds. Of Godzilla walking, and you can always edit that down. You can take stuff out, whatever you don't want, whatever you don't need. But 10 seconds I feel is like good enough, you know, for people. And the animation, this isn't even smoothed out. I haven't even smoothed out the animation. This is just the basic stuff. I can smooth it out and it'll look a little better, but yeah. So we got this done. Let me save. Let me do this too. Select all of the bone structures. Save motion file, motion data. 1991. Godzilla 91. Walking motion. Save. So that'll save it so I can load it up anytime, and then I can go back and edit it whenever I need to or want to. I think it's good. Heisei Godzilla finished for now, or at least the walking animation is finished. I'm trying to get the big ones out of the way first, like all the movement animations that I want to do for each of these monster models that you can download. With this one, I got the walking animation done. I'm not really going to make a running animation because he doesn't really run at all. I will probably, however, do something like an idle animation where he's standing there and he like looks around and the tail's wagging a little bit, or like a roar animation. But that'll be a lot easier than making no walking. How delayed is the stream, I wonder? Let's see. So, do you guys... Yeah. So, I think the next monster we shall work on will be Mothra. Because I have so many monsters. All these are monsters and stuff. I have Mega Gyarus, Old School Anguirus. But we can do Mothra. We'll do Heisei Mothra next. Where are you? Here it is. I got the larva and the regular. We'll go human size, so it won't be so huge. Yay! Look, it's Mothra! Yay! Let's take her up off the ground, shall we? Now, the person, MMD, made this model too, and he did a really nice thing where he made it to where you can do wing controls like this, and it'll just automatically make the wings move. But I personally don't like this. I don't like the way it does that. You know what I'm saying? So I could just do a quick animation using the wing controls that they put, you know, but I don't like that either. So I'm going to animate the wings how I want the wings to look. Heisei Mothra? Yeah, I really kind of like Heisei Mothra more than I like Legendary Mothra, to be honest. But I wish they would. I wish somebody. Mothra doesn't get enough love in the Godzilla animators community as far as people on YouTube are concerned. So none of the modelers have made Mothra Leo. I really want all of the Mothras from the Mothra trilogy movie. I'm not saying those are good movies and I think they suck comparatively, but I love the designs of Mothra, like the underwater Mothra, armored Mothra, Mothra Leo, and all the different forms it has. I like. But anyway, so we have Mothra here, right? We have good old Mothra, who apparently when you go back and you watch the franchise, they can't figure out if it's a she or a he anymore. Mothra Leo is definitely a he, but this is a she. This version is supposed to be the she version, I guess. Let's see, wings upper. Oh, okay, so these are the. So, truth be told, animating wings and flying with monsters, and as far as they're concerned, is actually a lot easier than you might think. First thing to remember, always. Well, something I've remembered. You've only watched 2 of the Rebirth? Did you watch the first 2? The third one has is my favorite one because she fights Grand King Ghidorah, and that's when you get and that's when you get armored Mothra. Like, Mothra in the Mothra trilogies is so overpowered. So overpowered. One of the things that I like about this version of Mothra and how there's 2 separate wings is how you really accent both of those wings to do stuff. The only problem is with this particular model, because there's not a really good one, the The wings. This is the model from the PlayStation game. So the wings don't actually. They're not that good. I don't know how else to say it. They're just not that good. But they did the best they could with what they had. You've got the whole trilogy on Blu-ray, but you haven't watched any of them? So good. Well, I take that back. They suck. They really all... You can tell that they were really just trying to cater to the female kid audience because Mothra is their second best monster kaiju, whatever. Most famous one, I guess. And it just sucked. Dude, Mothra Leo literally could turn invisible and shot a green beam from his chest as the larval stage. Definitely want to see Leo against... Yeah, dude. If Mothra Leo... Dude, that's just the tip of the iceberg, bruh, Daniel. The dialogue, the storylines are really that bad. The acting isn't all that good. It's almost like watching a cross between Super Sentai and Godzilla. But the special effects are really good. I'll give them that. The monster designs are very, very good. I'll give them that. But the storylines and stuff are just... You know how people say that the Godzilla Heisei series was really bad compared to like the Gamera series? If the Godzilla Heisei movies are that bad compared to the Gamera series Heisei movies, then the Mothra trilogy Heisei is worse than the Godzilla ones. As far as the continuity is actually there throughout. I don't know. I think they're bad compared to like the Gamera trilogy and the other Godzilla Heisei movies, but at the same time, for what they are, it's not that bad. They do Mothra justice. They make Mothra overpowered. I mean, Mothra Leo has so many different forms and so many abilities. Not only can it go invisible, not only can it shoot green beams from its body, but it can deflect. It has a force field that it can deflect stuff with. I'm not even talking about the scales. I'm not even talking about that. It can fly at like, it's like the fastest. Mothra Leo is literally the fastest flying kaiju there is at speeds of like Mach 70 something. It's so fast. It's so fast. It can be ridiculously fast. Mothra Leo has all kinds of additional attacks. Mothra Leo can time travel, bruh. Mothra Leo can turn into an aqua form and be Mothra underwater and deal quite significant. Like Mothra in the Mothra trilogy is just overpowered, broken, right? Mothra's got a problem that needs to face. Let me just pull a power out of my thorax and have that good to go, okay? Like, for real, it's crazy. Mothra is so overpowered in her own little trilogy, or its little trilogy. It's crazy. I'll be right back. Okay. So, yeah, no, so Mothra, the Mothra trilogy is fun. I would say it's super high fantasy. What do I mean by that? If you pay attention, Godzilla's more like sci-fi, right? Mothra is 100% Lord of the Rings fantasy. Ain't none of the stuff Mothra doing makes sense. They don't try to explain it away with any kind of technology or anything. It's just super high fantasy. So keep that in mind when watching the Mothra trilogy. It's not meant to be anything other than fun, fantasy, action. Okay. So now we got the wings positioned the way I would like them to be positioned. So what we're gonna do is copy and paste. Oh no. Oh no. Register. We're gonna do a wing flap every second, right? So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5, right? And because Mothra's wings are the way that they are, you have to pay special close attention to how you actually do the wings. But I'm going to put the model here. And we're going to reset the wings, right? And then we're gonna take the position of Mothra and we're gonna lower her. Why? Because the idea here is the wings are coming up and then coming back down, right? So you got to make her bounce. If she's hovering in the air, you have to make her bounce. Now, usually when a monster is flying, you don't make them bounce because they're moving forward. But in reality, they do bounce. You know, every time they flap the wing, even though they're moving, they're still bouncing to a degree. But for this particular one, we're going to make her bounce so it looks like she's flying in place, and then I can do one without, where she's just flapping her wings and you can move her however you want. Or you could just take the thing here out and just move her however you want. Okay, but the wings, however, this is the tricky part. So here, we're going to put them further up. Same thing with the back wings. Okay. Now, from this position to this position, right? I gotta curve the wings at the tips. Larry Champagne. Hi everyone, happy holidays. Happy holidays to you. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. Hope everything's going good for yous. Alright, and then we'll do this. We'll reverse this. Okay. So now the wings come up. Boom. Okay, and then we're gonna go here. And what we're gonna do with the wings now is we're gonna pitch them up as best we can. I don't know if this will. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll do. Oh, the music stopped. And then we'll go for the underwings. We'll flip those up a little more. But we won't accent them as much because they're kind of smaller and fatter. So it'll give it some variety, right? So now we go. And even though you can't really see it, It'll be noticeable. Oh, hang on, stop. It'll be noticeable when I do that. Okay, stop. It'll be noticeable when I do this. See, it makes it like the wings are actually flapping. Right? Looks good, yes? I think so. Now, there's some other things that I want to do. That I like to do just to make more, just to give it more life, you know? You know what I think I'm gonna do with the front wings? I think I'm not gonna angle them so hard like that. I think we'll do something like this, actually. And we'll leave the back wings the way that they are, and it'll give some nice variation in the wing flap. See, now it looks like the wings are going all the way up and hitting the way it should. I think these wings need to get closer, to be honest. Reset. Yeah, I kind of... I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the back wings. I wanted to do a little something with them, but... maybe this? We're getting there, I think. Oh, you know what I need to do before I forget? I think I'm Mothra 90s. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. There. We got it saved. Oh yeah, but for this I'm not done. There's a lot more that I'm gonna do for this because this is really basic. It's just repeating on a 1 second loop, right? So I'm not even close. So what we're gonna do next, now that we got the wing motion and stuff done, we're gonna do this. We're gonna bow the head down a little bit. I'm gonna copy, paste. So this is what's called the in-betweens, right? Adjusting the little things in between the main animations. Now the head movement should be... No. I'm not trying to make her head bob up and down. Maybe we just won't mess with the head movement. Maybe we just do it there? Yeah. Okay. Last thing I want to do is this part. Okay. So I actually... Oh, wait a second. Yeah, there we go. I want to make the lower body move like it should. Gotta call it here. Thanks for hosting live stream. See you next time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for coming and hanging out for a little bit. Yeah, it's getting kind of late. I'll probably end the stream very soon here. I just want to finish this. This is the first time you're on a stream the whole time? Nice. Well, thank you for being here and hanging out with us. There we go. There we are. Now it feels like she's actually doing something with her body. Jimmy Melvin, hi! How you doing? Oh yeah, okay, so hang on. There's one other thing that I can do. I just need to figure out how to do it. Oh man, I know what I'm gonna have to do for this. Well, I guess I could just do it like this. I want the legs, man. It's the legs. So I think what I'm gonna have to do this, even though I don't want to. It's okay. I'm gonna bend them in just a little bit. Right? Oh, that's the front. Middle. Come on. There we go. I need to get a new mouse. I really, really need to get a new mouse. There we go. See, now when she flaps, the legs move. Right? So it makes it feel... Save this real quick. Now, if you really want to get crazy with it, you mess with her antenna, right? And then you just copy and paste this little set over here. And now her antenna move. And if you really want to accent it, you accent them a little bit more. See, and now it looks full, like a full-on motion. You got the antenna. And this is a finished Mothra flying animation motion. Right here. Boom. I'm happy with this. Really, really happy with this. Looks really good in my opinion. So we're going to copy and paste second after second until we get to 10 seconds worth of flying. But I'm gonna do a little something extra with this file. Okay, so we're at 300 seconds. Or 300 frames. So you could just be like, look, she's flying, she's flying. Uh-oh, oops. Didn't mean to do that. She's flying. Flying, mother flying. It's a video game. It's a Mothra video game. It's Galaga, but Mothra. Okay, hang on. Nah, I do want to do. All. Select. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay. Save the motion data. Okay. Now I just want to see how this is going to look when I smooth out the animation using an additional piece of software that I'm not going to share with anybody just yet. Let's see. Yes, it moves even more smoothly. I think we's looking good, y'all. I think we's looking real good. All right. So we got Mothra flying. It's looking pretty good, y'all. What do you guys think? You think how you think the Mothra looks? Let me get rid of the coordinate access. It's okay. It's okay. I think it looks really good. Whatever. It's okay. Well, I think it looks fantastico. We got the extra detail going on with the legs and the tail and the antennae. I think it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Anyway. So for everybody that's still here, let me save this real quick one last time, and then I'll do one last thing for tonight before we go. Just want to make sure. All right. Bye, Martha. Thank you for playing with us today. Okay, so I guess you guys really want to see the Apex monsters, right? The special kaiju remakes that I had done. So we'll start with Godzilla, Mr. Godzilla Apex himself. I'm gonna leave him in T-pose because I don't want to mess with a whole bunch of... Come on. There we go. This is our boy, the new version of Godzilla for my series. Fully equipped, ready to go. We got King Caesar. What is this 3X? Oh, it's the big version that I made. Okay, we're done with the big version. There we go. There's our boy King Caesar. But yeah, that's the new Apex King Caesar. Let's see. To be honest, the hip and the thigh are a little thick. Yeah, well, go back and look at other real life creatures and you'll see that it's like the bottom legs are usually pretty thick and beefy because they got to support everything else about the monster. It just looks thick when you look at it from the front or the back, but it doesn't look that bad from either side. And in T-pose, everything looks bad. You think he's thick? Wait until you see the other Godzillas. So we got Manda here. Talk about a tube. It looks weird, but when he's animated and all posed up and stuff, it doesn't look this weird. Okay, this is just the base. When you load up the file or the model, this is what it looks like. So don't freak out too much on me. But that's our boy Manda, looking like a hoss in my opinion. Looking pretty good, if I do say so see. Okay, let's see. Biolante, which you've seen Biolante in the series now. Oh, what? Oh, okay. Well, that's Biolante's appendage piece. That's not what I wanted. There she is. Okay. So Biolante's pretty big. Well, comparatively speaking. It's really... Okay, we'll do this. The green parts really actually glow, but I don't have the glow thing turned on, so it just kind of recolors it. But yeah! So this is Biolante, and I really like this idea. Instead of her having this big head piece right here, it actually goes down into a smaller head piece and makes her have a lot more like neck movement and be able to kind of like look around, you know what I mean? But we got Biolante Apex here. Let's see. Okay, and then we've got, and then this is the last of the good guy models, custom ones that I had made. This is Super Godzilla Apex. And, well, you'll see him in just a moment. Boom. There he is. And as you can see, the model looks very similar to the regular Apex model. Very, very similar. Except, he's bigger. He grows. You know, he goes... think of it like when Godzilla goes Super Godzilla in my series, think of it as the same way as Goku going Super Saiyan, you know? That's the same idea. Alright. But yeah, so this is Super Godzilla Apex, which you see in Season 2, because I got this model before I got my regular Godzilla model. But yeah, he looks a lot different and very squared off. The idea with this was I wasn't trying to go like super realistic. I wanted it to be anime. You know, I wanted it to look like it was an anime, not so much like it was supposed to be realistic or anything. I'm not going for the realism. I'm going for a cool story with cool looking designs for animation. But yeah, so Super Godzilla. I really like this model. I love the eyes. Look at the eyes. Ooh, this looks so good. They match very well. Oh, it looks so good. Anyway, I don't know. You may think he's thick. I like it. I think it's proportionately correct because he can use those legs for all kinds of things. Like, for example, if you take a look at his toes, he's got some raptor claws on his toes. Like, we went above and beyond with these ideas. The other thing that this Godzilla can do is he can glow green, red, orange, and blue. But yeah, so these are the good guys from, well, I don't know about Biolante. Biolante is not a good guy. Actually, she's a bad guy, but she's gonna be offed early on in the show or in the story. But and then you have Mothra and Rodan, which I have models for. But they weren't custom-made models. I'm just using models that were already made. I may not even use that same Mothra model yet. I just haven't decided. But let me get rid of all these guys real quick. On the other flip side, let me pull out the bad guys. You're going to like them better. The bad guys just look really good, in my opinion. So now we have Batra Apex. I had a really good legendary version of Batra made, and I really love the color scheme and stuff. But this is Batra, He's got torn up wings and even holes in his wings and stuff. And yes, they can change colors and get bright and stuff like that. Yeah. But this is my Batra, and he's gonna do cool things. He's gonna be a really interesting character, in my opinion. I wanted him to look super armored, like, you know how Mothra is always very like fragile looking? I wanted Batra to be like a butterfly tank. So that's why he looks the way he does. And he looks like he's armored, because he's gonna be able to take a beating. And the whole thing about the wings, like, he's already been taking a beating, as you can see. He's already gotten into fights. So but he doesn't, he's like Mothra's brother, right? Ideally, to a degree. So so, you know, brother's got to protect sister and stuff or whatever. So he's super armored. Anyway, he's actually quite small compared to the next few monsters that I pull up. We got Orga. I really like Orga as a monster, and I hate that Orga is one of those one-off monsters that only appeared in Godzilla 2000. So I asked for a remake of Orga, and I got my money's worth, to say the least, with Orga, because Orga looks super good. Super duper standing pose. Okay. So as you can see, Batra's tiny compared to Orga here. But this is Orga. Let me close that mouth. But yes, his mouth does open, and it can open even wider, so he can stuff things in his mouth. But I keep it closed, and then I only animate. Let me see. I think it's this jaw part. No, it's this one. This one. I use this for his like normal raw kind of thing, you know, whatever. But in reality, this whole thing is his mouth, and his eyes are way up here. But he's got the remnants of Godzilla. You know, he's got the dorsal plates and stuff. He's got a really cool looking tail. Really small lower body, but really gigantic hands, which I absolutely adore. As you can see, they open up and become super big. So I can have a lot of fun with this model. The other cool thing that when we were working on the designs that the modeler suggested was the shoulders, right? So he's supposed to have that shoulder cannon. Well, instead of that, instead of one, we put a shoulder cannon on either side, and so his shoulders can open up. Where's the thing? The shoulders open up and can shoot weapons or beams from there. And I can close up individual, so he can shoot one or two or whatever. And then if I really want to, he can open his mouth and shoot a beam from there too. So he's got like a trifecta beam thing that he can do. That was considered when we were creating the concepts for Orga here. Yeah, so Orga's gonna be one of the, what I'm calling for right now, I may change this up, but he's one of the 4 horsemen in my series. All-consuming creature of destruction. And yeah, he's gonna be fun to play with. Let's see, who's next? Oh yeah, then of course, of course, we have Shin Godzilla Apex, which you guys seen in season 2. He's also going to be one of the 4 horsemen, in my humble opinion. We'll do that so you can kind of see stuff, but yeah. It's definitely, let me do this. So he's definitely different than regular Shin Godzilla. He's even got an extra, oh my gosh. He's even got an extra eye right here on the forehead. So he's got, it's kind of gross. But yeah, you know, he's super stylized version of Legendary meets Shin Godzilla idea. How long does one video take? Depends on how long I try to make that video. So if I do, once I get the story written out, it probably actually won't take me as long, but on average, if I'm continuously working like 8 hours a day to 12 hours a day making the animation, and depending on the complexity of the scenes, I can get about 20 minutes worth of animation done in about 2 weeks, maybe. And that's just the animation part. That's not adding the effects. That's not doing the adding the sound or any of the other stuff. That's literally just the basic animation movements. As you can see back here, however, we do have a baby boy. And this, I really wanted this. I really like this idea of having an unfinished Godzilla coming off the tail. Because I always thought it would be interesting what if Shin Godzilla replicated itself, you know? So we have a piece on the tail that looks like another Shin Godzilla that will eventually like fall off and become another Shin Godzilla. And that's kind of the idea behind this one. And then we have everybody's favorite so far. The Space Godzilla model that I have. This is everybody's favorito so far of all the monsters that I've had made or remade. And that's our good boy here, Space Godzilla. And I personally absolutely love this design. He doesn't really have any pupils or anything like that, which is fine. His teeth are very not... He's a space monster, right? He's a Godzilla abomination. But I just love this model so much. I love the design and everything. This looks so good. And then the tail goes all the way out here and comes into this really cool weapon spike tail thing that he can use, which you see him use in episode 1 of season 3. But there we got Space Godzilla looking all good with the thick thighs too. And then last but not least, God Ghidorah is what I'm calling him. I'm going to show the bigger size version of this. But yeah, he's pretty huge. I resized him. But he looks weird right now because I don't have the auto luminous thing on. But let me see here. If I do, oh no, okay, that's not what I need. So this model, you don't really get to see the justice being done here as far as how it looks. I guess if I turn the thickness down all like to this, it's a little bit better. You can kind of see the model itself, but he's like super golden. And the idea for this one was that he was a cross between Godzilla, Ghidorah from the anime trilogy, and Ghidorah from the MonsterVerse, because I really like the MonsterVerse Ghidorah design. But he's got, you know, he's got the eyes and the look of a classic Ghidorah. And when I put my lighting effects and stuff on him, he can get transparent, and all that kind of stuff. But I really like this part, like the leg design too. He's got like bird type talons that he can use. And then the other thing that I really enjoy about this model is that stereotypically Ghidorah has like two tails. This one has one tail that forks at the end. Oops. So, you know, he's got two tails. He's got one big long tail that forks at the end. I really like that idea. I think it's super unique. The wings are super stylized. They don't really fold or anything, but Ghidorah, he's not meant to. He's not a normal monster. He's not supposed to be a normal monster. So anyway, but yeah, so these are that was the cast of the main characters of season 2, or of Godzilla Apex Neo, as I'm calling it right now. Name might change. But that's what it is right now. And these are the main characters, as you can see. Different sizes and shapes and stuff, and they just, you know, I'm just super excited. I can't wait to actually finish writing the story so I can start animating these models, because you know how a lot of people collect toys? I feel like my models are like my toys. But anyway, thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Make sure to go into the link of the description for the Patreon. You can follow me on Twitter. Very soon we're going to have an Apex Facebook group going. And yeah, these models, these animations that I've been working on, once I get everything all packaged correctly, I'll be throwing them up over on Patreon. So stay tuned for that. If you want tutorials on animation and stuff like that, let me know in the comments down below. I'm willing to teach you guys everything that I know. But yeah, check out the Patreon, follow me on Twitter, and make sure you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, turn on the bell notifications. And thank you so much for watching this live stream and hanging out with me. I appreciate it so much. You guys are wonderful. Have a great night. Happy holidays. God bless you. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you later. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye.